Hey guys, how's it going? So, a little different format today. Today I really wanted to go out, and when we got over to Clark County Lake, I really wanted to focus on spinnerbaits. Come check it out.
And we just showed up to our first spot of the day. Let's see if we can't catch a few bass.
So I showed up to my first spot, and it was a pretty interesting start. We've caught a lot of fish in that spot before, and I had a spinnerbait with my typical trailer tied on like always, and didn't get much. I was there like maybe 15-20 casts before I ended up catching into this one right here. And it gave me some confidence, like, okay, well, we already know the spinnerbait's gonna catch him, so we're doing pretty good. Of course, he was only like 10 ounces, so he was really small. And then after that, I didn't catch anything for another 15-20 casts, so I decided to make a move to the opposite end of the lake, where I figured down there, because the water was a bit shallower, it'd be a bit colder, but at the same time, that's where they'd be corralling up bait fish. So I headed down there to see what was going on down there. And I fished a lot of water before I ended up catching this one. And it took me quite a while, and like 3 or 4 bait changes on the spinnerbaits to hook into this one. And again, this was without a trailer, which, like I said, is something completely new with me, because normally the only success I have is with a trailer, or like a paddle tail or a crawl or something in the back fluttering around. This one was only 12 ounces, so still nothing too special, still small. But after fishing about 15 or 20 more minutes, 30 minutes all the way down that bank, and 2 more bait changes, I decided to move back to the dam, where it was more rocky and the water was way warmer, because I felt like I spent like an hour back in the back of those coves and didn't get anything. So I decided to move to the back of the dam and give it one more shot with another color. And this time I wanted to try a bait that I haven't tried on the back of my hooks, and that was one of the Z-Man spikes. Really wanted to see if this one would have any major effect on it, and let me tell you, it did. It made the spinnerbait swim completely sideways no matter how I did it, no matter what I did. I think I made 2 or 3 casts with it and readjusting it before I realized this, and I decided, well, you know what, let's just take this damn thing off, because it's not doing me any good on this. It's for a chatterbait. I'll just stick with a chatterbait on it. And after doing that, I went around a cove that I haven't fished in a while and tried to fish up there. And like my 3rd or 4th cast in, that's where I got a decent little hit, and I was excited because he was fighting a lot harder, but it was more wind than anything else. Little small guy. But the most interesting thing about fishing in this back dam back here was the fact that I didn't realize just how much the bass conjugate back here, and especially the white bass, because I think I caught 15 or 20 of those things. And so, well, of course, exaggeration and all, but it seemed like every cast after that, I just found them all schooled up in one little spot, and I was catching them left and right. And it was all in that white one, but I was having fun. So I was getting hit, it was fun, I was enjoying myself. So I just kept going. you'll notice in here, I don't reach in and try to take the hook out of the white bass's mouth, and that's for a personal reason. The only time I've gotten majorly stabbed by a fish didn't come off a catfish. It actually came off of a white bass. And let me tell you, their fins stabbing you hurt like crazy. And so I've always been a little iffy about grabbing white bass. Largemouth, that's a different story. I'm not too hesitant about grabbing them. Those, grab them, hold them up, do what I need to do. But the white bass, heck no. I actively try to avoid sticking my hand around their fins because, well, one, they got more of them, and I'm a little traumatized, I guess. But I continued to fish the dam and continued to catch a bunch of white bass, and it was fun and enjoyable. I enjoyed my time doing that. But then after about 15-20 minutes of that, I decided, okay, I gotta get back to fishing for the black bass. So I moved on down the dam. And right here is the importance of retying after that, because right there I hooked onto one and broke off. I know better. You should always retie, especially after getting a couple of good hits. And I did with those white bass. They're fun to fight in, and it takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes to do it. And then before you know it, everything's lined back up and you're right back in it. So that's just laziness on my part. No big deal. But I didn't end up catching anything else up here, so I decided to head back to the dam and try some fishing, and the only bite I had was this one, in which he broke off because I just guess it was a bad knot, or I just let it sit too long. But with that one, I decided to call it because it was already getting later in the day and I still had an hour-and-a-half drive to get home. So I decided to head on home, load up the car. It was rough. We went out to eat the night before, so I had one too many drinks, and so I was a little hungover. But I mean, it wasn't anything bad, but I was enjoying myself out there anyway. It's always good when you're on the water. Well, key takeaways on that. Pretty much said the trailerless spinnerbait. Apparently that one works extremely well. But that's the point of this whole thing. We're learning as we go. You guys are learning with me as we go. I'm learning new techniques. I'm learning new little intricacies about everything we do here, especially to get in preparation for the next season coming up, which, if you weren't aware, the final tournaments for the BLFs were this weekend, and then it moves on to regionals. So season's almost over, and the next season's getting ready to ramp up. So for me, I'm going to try to do some more cold weather practice to really get myself into the mindset of, hey, fishing cold water. But until then, let's just keep rolling and trucking along, and we'll go from there, and we'll keep growing week to week, getting better every week until we can go and hopefully get a nice win. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share the video, and we'll talk to you next week.